Oh, before I hang it up, folks, we got Mr. Christopher here coming in at the last second. Don't want to ignore you here, Christopher. This is a big one. My wife is an online gamer. She had an emotional affair and then a physical affair. Ouch. I'm sorry to hear that, Christopher. People on both sides of the aisle, gender aisle, have seen this scenario. For example, these things, the phones. They allow us very easy access to interact at a very intimate, personal level with human beings from all over the world. Same thing with the online gaming. I presume she has like the headset and she could physically talk. I guess her voice can go out to the world. Another guy hears a voice. Hey, you sound nice, and away they go. Right? It doesn't take much to go from casual friendship to emotional affair, which means bodies aren't touching. And it's surprising how quick it goes from friendly chat all the way to physical for people. When they click, when there's that certain something between the two of them, it doesn't mean like they're soulmates or whatever. Just at some level they click to go to full-blown affair. Physical doesn't take much for some people. And those people are what we call people with low boundaries. They don't have that mechanism in place to say, hey, Bob from Illinois, it was great chatting with you, but just let you know I'm married and I don't really feel comfortable with this. So, hey, have a good one. Sounds very adult, but that's very difficult for a lot of people. This isn't a slam against the ladies, but it tends to be more difficult for them. Not because they're more prone to cheat. That's not what I mean. Because they tend to be a personality trait. It's called agreeableness. Women tend to be more agreeable than men. One example that I often give, apologize if you've heard this a few hundred times, is woman's in the office, some coworker or maybe even a higher up comes up behind her and gives her the old massage on the shoulders. And she tenses up like, whoa, what's this? But does she turn to the guy and go, hey, buddy, don't do that. Okay, that's weird. It's creepy. I don't like it. No. Why? Because she doesn't want to come across as a bitch. She doesn't want to come across as being not part of the team. She doesn't want to cause a stir. She doesn't want to cause a scene. Maybe it's her immediate boss, and she's like, I don't want to tick him off. I mean, I get that promotion next week. All these things going through your head. So it's just like, and just lets it go, and that's it. When in fact, she should say, if you do that again, I'll have to go to HR, and then your ass is going to be fired. Please don't do that again. That's a very disagreeable thing, and a lot of women have a very difficult time with that. But that's putting up a boundary. Where that bites her in the butt later is when maybe her husband knows somebody that works with wife. And they're like, hey, dude, do you know that your wife gets like massages from Dave at work every day? Sometimes multiple times a day. I'll walk by her cubicle and he's like behind her standing there, massaging her shoulders, and she never says anything. And husband's like, oh, really? Good to know. And he goes to wife and goes, why don't you tell me about Dave, your massage buddy at work? And I don't like it. I didn't mean it to. And why didn't you tell Dave to beat it? Why didn't you tell him, hey, if you do that again, I'll chop your hands off? Well, I don't want to cause a scene. I don't want low boundaries. And that can, believe it or not, lead to like a legitimate thing between her and Dave. If the planets are aligned right and he's nice enough, I guess, let's go do coffee. Sure. And away you go. We men and women both need to practice the old boundaries thing, or we can get our butts in trouble really easily. We have a lot of tools at our disposal, phone, this computer, whatever, that allows me to very quickly and easily reach out and talk to other people. And you can get your butt in trouble real fast. And it sounds like your wife is one of those that doesn't have that mechanism, that tool in her toolbox to say, no. And that doesn't bode well for a long-term monogamous relationship. She was swept away pretty easily by somebody who she clicked with on an online game of all things. So if she was that easily, wooed, pulled away, if you will, by somebody, she's like, hey, you sound nice, and away she went, doesn't bode well for the future of the relationship, unfortunately. So in a way, I guess you could look at it, Christopher, as kind of a gift. Hey, thanks for showing me just how easily you're pulled away. I wish you all the best. Hope you and other online gamer guy have a good life together, but you and I, this ain't gonna work. Easier said than done, right? From a guy like me who's probably thousands of miles away from you, or at least hundreds of miles away from you, and away from your situation. Very easy for me to say. That's what we all say. But when it hits us in our relationship, in our lives, it's a little bit more difficult, isn't it, to walk away? So wish you all the best.